In this video, we'll be shining a light on the 10 most slept on weapons in Borderlands 3. These are the guns that dominate in the shadows that everyone should know about. If you're looking for more, you can always check out this video of 10 secretly powerful weapons which are also underrated. And let's crack into it. We open with the Insider, a melee one splash damage shotgun, which belongs to the Guns, Love and Tentacles DLC, with an increased chance to draw from Tom and Zam. You fight around here in Heart's Desire. It's a gun that has the inside scoop on dealing damage, but it all depends on which variant you have. It comes in a number of different ones, consuming 2 to 4 ammo, and it's 5, 6, 10 or 12 pelleted variants. Grabbing an Insider that fires 12 pellets and expends 4 ammo per shot is fine if you're Moe's, and is what I'd recommend. Otherwise, 10 projectiles for 3 ammo provides the best damage to ammo ratio. It is one of the best splash damage shotguns in the game, but not a lot of people realize that. It has a unique effect where its projectiles pierce through enemies, allowing you to line up multiple and deal damage to them all. However, that's not where its peak damage lies. Its peak damage lies when its projectiles explode after traveling through an enemy. So if there's a wall behind them, or you shoot at their feet, that is where this gun shines the brightest. Being a melee one weapon, you also get dual elements, but you don't get the charge time, allowing you to rapidly deal to enemies. I highly recommend it if you run Moe's, but there's plenty of stuff here for the other Vault Hunters. High projectile count, splash damage, and a good fire rate to go with it. What's not to love? Moving on to the Crabs, which like the Insider can come in all the elements, but unlike the Insider can come non-elemental. It belongs to the Handsome Jackpot DLC, with an increased chance to draw from Jackpot at the end of the VIP tower. The Craps is an explosive Torg hand cannon with some serious hidden firepower. Generally it just fires the 1 projectile per shot, but there's a small chance that it will fire 5, upping its firepower massively. That happens every 5 to 6 shots, and whenever one of those lands, whatever they hit will be flattened. That's a fantastic unique effect that allows it to amplify the sticky mode, where each Gyrojet increases the damage of the upcoming explosion by 13%. To add to that, Zane's playing dirty, Flax, Two Fang, and the Infernal West Shield don't just turn 5 shots into 6, but into 10, and Flack and Zane with the addition of the shield can get it hitting 15. It's a gun that has mobbing and bossing covered, and should be slept on no longer. What's that sound? Oh right, today's video is sponsored by War Thunder, the ultimate vehicle combat game, free to play on PC, consoles and mobile. This game has more vehicles than Borderlands 3 has guns. With over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters and ships from 10 nations, it's a military fan's dream. War Thunder runs on pretty much everything, and you don't need any extra hardware. Mouse and keyboard or controller, they all work even in simulator mode. And now you can even use your fingers. Yes, War Thunder's all new mobile version is here for iOS and Android. Take the battlefield with you anywhere. The graphics are impressive and the controls feel fluid. If you want to experience realistic combat with incredible vehicle detail and stunning graphics, alongside over 70 million players in epic PvP battles, then make sure to click my links down below, where new and returning players who haven't played on PC or console for at least 6 months will receive a massive bonus pack, which includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. Get in quick, you don't want to miss it, and a special thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Now to the waves. I'm talking TK Baha's Shockwave, Heatwave, and Tidal Wave. They're all special variants of the same gun, with an increased chance to drop from Dump Truck, who you fight around here in the droughts. These weapons got a monstrous buff towards the end of the game's lifecycle. So big in fact that the best Heatwave has higher one-shot potential than the Hellwalker. However, they're much harder to farm for, with the best variants being the Shockwave and Heatwave, with ×12 listed on the card. They don't act like your typical Jacob's weapons either, although they do consume 2 ammo per shot. There is no critical hit ricochet effect, and their projectiles follow a slow moving wave pattern and will bounce off surfaces. The key to maximum damage with these then is to get all those projectiles to land, and that means being up close and personal with your enemies. so close that you can see their nose hairs. It's definitely an almighty shotgun, but it takes a little bit of effort to get all of that damage out. Now to the Hydra Frost, my favourite COV pistol. It only comes in cryo and belongs to the Guns Love and Tentacles DLC. It can only be obtained by defeating Chivalrous the Unscathed, who you can find around here in Nagal Nishai. The Hydra Frost may have cryo listed on the card, but that's not the only element it deals damage in. After a kill, every second shot will deal 200% shock or incendiary damage for 10 seconds, and it absolutely melts. However, like similar COV weapons, it has a big problem with ammo. It fires either 3, 4 or 5 projectiles, costing 2, 3 or 4 ammo per shot, and with its high fire rate, it typically runs dry fast. The ×4 variant balances damage to ammo the best, but the ×2 will have you shooting for longer. It's a gun that's in it for a good time, not a long time, absolutely tearing through mobs when it's on. The Creeping Corruption is another slept on weapon, maybe because it was one of the last ones to release. You can obtain it from the Bunker Master's Vault card as part of the Director's Cut. It is your classic feels great to use Dahl assault rifle. Think the Chaos or Breath of the Dying, although it's locked to non-elemental, although there is an element lurking here. On kill, it'll send out 2 homing corrosive orbs that'll seek out enemies and weaken them. They'll take constant corrosive damage for 35 seconds and take 33% more damage from all sources, and that's an effect that stacks up to 3 times. That makes it a fantastic weapon while mobbing, getting better the more outnumbered you are. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend you take it for a spin. Next, the Bloodstarved Beast, an elemental Dahl SMG that belongs to the Psycho Krieg DLC, and can only be obtained by defeating the Lava is Rising Get to High Ground, who you can find around here in Castle Crimson. It's a weapon designed to slay foul beasts, firing 2 or 3 projectiles per shot, consuming 1 or 2 ammo, with the ×2 variant being the best, although most should look at the ×3. It has a unique effect similar to the Insider, where its projectiles pierce through enemies, but upon piercing, they have a chance to explode, dealing splash damage. That splash damage is obscenely high. It's a weapon where you want to do your best to trigger that unique effect, where you line up your enemies and lay waste to them all at once. Weirdly enough, its damage is considered assault rifle damage, so it pairs well with other Dahl assault rifles. And it's a weapon that simply performs well across all the Vault Hunters. Up next, the Recursion, which can come in all the elements and has an increased chance to drop from General Traunt. You fight around here in Desolation's Edge. The Recursion used to be king, especially for Amara, before the projectile bug was patched. But what if I told you it is still good today? It fires 1 or 2 projectiles that on impact with an enemy will bounce between others, making it great while mobbing, with the ×2 variant serving best. It deals splash damage, which is always great, and the Infernal Wish helps to get it closer to its former glory. However, when that door closed, another one opened thanks to Zane, his Hustler class mod, and his Eraser skill. With these things in combination, you'll spawn extra projectiles whenever the Hustler procs, which are much more powerful than the initial ones. Landing crits will guarantee this interaction while bossing, but the Hustler amplifies it on the mobbing field too. If you wanted to relive this gun's glory days, then this is as close as it gets. Now to the Moonfire, a Torgue pistol that should really be made by Jacobs. It can come in all the elements including non-elemental, with an increased chance to drop from Wotan during the Maliwan takedown. The Moonfire is capable of some exceptional damage, but you'll need to land criticals, and not every shot will be its best. It deals 70% increased critical hit damage, and every third shot will be 200% more powerful. It's especially good while mobbing, where the Overkill Guardian rank can serve to increase the damage of the non-amplified projectiles. However, you need to land criticals. It is designed to be a one-tap machine, and it can do some serious work. Its fire rate is high enough to be forgiving though, so don't be afraid to miss. Now to the Masterwork Crossbow, a weapon pulled straight out of Wonderlands. It can only be obtained by defeating Urus Mick Enforcer, who you can find around here in Letras City. It is a non-elemental sniper rifle that must be reloaded per shot, firing a single slow-moving crossbow bolt in an arcing trajectory. It has one of the highest damage numbers on its card, with a nice critical hit damage bonus to boot, and its DPS can be doubled by simply increasing max size bonuses above 50%. Landing your shots, this thing will one-tap for days, but I'm not gonna lie, it can be difficult. Its unique projectile pattern means you'll more often than not need to aim above your target, and because it moves slowly, you'll also need to lead your shots too. Getting used to it though, this thing can do a lot of work, and is made best with a next to mags elemental anointment. Now to the companion, a Jacob's pistol that has an increased chance to drop from anointed X2 or 3 as part of the Malevolent Practice quest, and you can find them around here in the anvil. The companion isn't your typical Jacob's pistol, it doesn't have a ricochet effect, instead your critical hits are guaranteed to burn into your enemies. Essentially it deals non-elemental damage on any other part of the body, and deals incendiary damage to their critical points, although it can't cause status effects. Regardless, that is a great effect, as your aim is to land criticals anyway, and fire damage will burn through flesh much better than kinetic damage. Although it is semi-automatic, it has an incredible fire rate if you can achieve that. It might stress out your fingers, but this weapon is capable of some unruly amounts of damage for as long as you can ride that fire rate cap. It sits at over 11 rounds a second and turns it into a completely different gun. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out my links below.